You know, at the end of the day, I have been told in a lot of settings that this farm bill was just a disaster for producers. And I couldn't disagree more. One, I had a lot to do with helping answer questions for the staff and the policymakers in Washington, so I don't want to feel like that all the work we did was for nothing on a terrible farm bill. But two, just taking a step back from it, I just really couldn't disagree more. If a producer's only view of a safety net is a direct payment, then yes, this was a huge failure because they're gone. But if your vision of the safety net that is provided by the government is not intended to put money in your pocket every year regardless, but over the life of the farm bill, which is a 5-year farm bill, it's going to basically take out you're going to get the peaks, but it's going to take the valleys out. If you would think about it that way, this farm bill is a home run, in my opinion.
Well, it certainly has probably the most opportunity, I think, for you to make those valleys as shallow as possible.
Right.
And again, yeah, I think you're right. You know, and that's really kind of what Congress was saying to us, I think, at the end of the day, and what the general public was saying when, you know, especially in the debate about the direct payments and the fact that, you know, people just really don't understand why they were there, what purpose they served. But, you know, even though, you know, I'm sure both of us could sit around and debate the benefits and the validity of that type of a program structure, that just wasn't, I think, what was in the cards with this Congress and during this debate. And what we ended up with as a replacement for that, I think, is both broader in many respects and has a lot more opportunity for being tailored to. It's you know, we've moved really quite far away from a one size fits all type program, and if you really, you know, I think that the folks at the House Ag Committee and you know, Mr. Lucas, Chairman Lucas, and now Chairman Conaway, and all those guys on the Ag Committee staff really deserve you know, a big hearty congratulations. One, for getting the process moved forward and completed. I mean, that well in itself was monumental. But two, finding realistic and useful ways for the grower to get, you know, the best possible safety net option kind of at his disposal that then he can kind of bring to bear. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've taken away from this bill is that it's just really mind-boggling to see. And really, once you kind of get more familiar with all these pieces, I mean, there's so many moving pieces, but just how close you can get to really matching up with what you would like to do on your farm, or maybe even opening up opportunities for things that you were precluded from doing in many respects in the past.
I agree. Well, any last second things or last parting shots you want to take at me? You want to?
No, I just appreciate the opportunity to come. I mean, it's been interesting, and like I say, we've done a lot of meetings the last 4 or 5 months, 6 months. You probably a little bit longer, but you know, I think they have been. The message has gotten through, and folks are, like I said, slowly becoming a lot more comfortable with the concepts of it. And you know, these new insurance programs, there's still decisions to be made, and I think that's the interesting thing is we've reached our last sales closing date, and everybody's kind of signed their papers now at the date that we're doing this.
Yes.
But we still have until late April, actually, for some of these final tweaks to be made to these coverages, and especially in regards to yield exclusion on which years to drop and keep, and to really know exactly kind of where they're going to end up.
Right. Well, good.